Welcome to Yogaxpress, the mobile stretch clinic that takes yoga to the people. Josiane Heard to my right, Tony Taylor to my left. I'm Banu Suresh. The three of us were having a little dialogue just before we started taping for today. We talked about how we tend to slouch over the computer when we're sitting at work, slouching, and what happens when we sit for too long at the computer. And Tony mentioned Tony is a writer as well as a film director, so he is on the computer all the time. Josiane works a lot on the computer as well. We talked about when we sit long hours how our brain feels tired, and one of the reasons for that could be because our brain is not getting enough oxygen. When we slouch all the way forward, what we're doing is we're collapsing our lungs. We want to every now and then, maybe every half an hour, every 20, 25 minutes, just open up your chest, expand your chest, inhale air so that the lungs have a chance to purify that air and send it to the different organs, especially to the brain. And when the brain receives fresh oxygen, we feel better, we feel refreshed. That's what yoga is all about: stretching, expanding, making the most of yourself at any given time. The purpose of this yoga health show is not to offer you an alternative to what you're already doing. If you already have a fitness program at home, congratulations, you're halfway there. The purpose of this program is to be a link between the days when you cannot practice either at a school or at home. We give you very brief episodes, maybe 10, 15 stretches, to just feel the joy of stretching. Just enjoy yourself, stretch, release those wonderful endorphins, just feel good about yourself, and you're doing something for yourself. So it's just a simple complementary strategy to stay fit. Now, don't forget, you don't have to give up anything. Just add Yoga Express to your repertoire. You can just add us to your schedule, your timetable, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, as long as you can stay with us, that's good. Before we go ahead and do our stretches today, for piles, I believe the word in the United States or North America is called hemorrhoids. We are going to just point out that there is a lot of support for you out there. There's a box of 8 ailment-specific cards and 2 cards with a complete sequence and techniques, how to stretch safely in all these postures, yoga secrets. We also have a postcard which doesn't have the names of the postures, but it has all the 48 stretches from the 48 plus sequence. So you can put this in your bag. This book can stay at home. The postcard stays in your bag. You have a fridge magnet with the full sequence, so that stays on your fridge. When you go to open the fridge and pick some of the wrong foods, remember, you are working towards a fitness goal, and you have a business card with a sequence on the back. Put it in your wallet. No excuses, no reason, quote unquote reason. We never have a reason to stay lazy, so there are no excuses. That's the right word to not practice stretching. Stretching is so easy. It's as easy as moving. All you do is you just maximize your movement. Today we're going to talk about stretches that will help prevent, maybe even alleviate piles. Piles are anal hemorrhoids. Piles are hemorrhoids. It can be a very painful condition, and where the veins around our lower rectal area, they are swollen or inflamed. Sometimes you have bleeding piles. They can be internal. They're called somatic, is off the skin, where they're external. And they could be aggravated because of excessive strain, weak anal sphincters. What we're going to learn today is how to strengthen our sphincter muscles. Some of the causes for piles are constipation. You know how to overcome that. Other than the stretches or the massages in the lower abdomen for constipation, you also include fiber in our diet. There you go, and it's as easy as that. A lot of water. Inadequate fiber in the diet can be one of the causes for piles because of ensuing constipation. And then you have weakness, diarrhea, pelvic tumors. Symptoms, some of the symptoms include swollen, ruptured anal muscles and a lot of unpleasant things that can happen to your body which you want to avoid if you can. So we are going to learn how to tighten our sphincter muscles today. We're going to go into postures that will not require pelvic stretches. It's a more of compacting the lower body. When we talk about compacting the core muscles, we are including the sphincter muscles. So you want to be careful, listen carefully, and you want to be careful that you do not release the compactness. You want to keep yourself nice and tight, nice and compact in these stretches. Let's go. Let's do a few. Actually, we will probably not do any of the standing ones. We did a lot of standing. We want to progress into the supine today. We didn't progress into our supine stretches for diabetes. Today, we're going to go into that. Now, this time, we're going to start with a cat position. So we are going from seated. We're going to skip all the standing postures today. There are only about 3 or 4. Actually, do you want to get the blood flowing? Maybe do one standing posture? All right, let's do one, just to get the blood flowing to the feet. Okay, let's do that.
The second one.
Yeah, the second. Okay. Ardha Chandra. Ardha Chandra is half moon. In our full posture, in that particular one, Ardha Chandra, when we go into the full posture, we look like a crescent moon. So let's do that. Heels together, toes slightly apart. Inhale, bring your arms up to shoulder height. Palms are down. Keep inhaling. Take your arms all the way overhead. Clasp your palms. Now, we have inhaled with our palms all the way overhead. Now, look up at your hands. Make sure your hands are nicely aligned, and if you can keep your elbows straight, that's wonderful. In this posture, it's nice to keep your elbows straight. If you cannot, that's okay. Bend them a little. You shouldn't feel stressed. Now, as we exhale, we're going to dip our torso first to the right and then to the left. Exhale. Dip your torso to the right. Make yourself look like a little crescent moon. And look ahead, or you can look at your fingertips if you wish. Whatever is comfortable for you. Just make sure you have the dip. Inhale, come up to midpoint. Exhale to the left. Inhale, come up. Now, as a reminder, I hope all of you at home remembered to tighten your anal sphincter muscles. Your feet are nice and close together. The pelvic area is nice and compact. Let's do that one more time. This time with a conscious effort to tighten your sphincter muscles. Exhale, dip to the right. Inhale, come up. Exhale, dip to the left. Inhale, come up. And let's release our arms. We're going to go into one more. Let's take our arms, just take our arms right in front of our body, right in front of us. Keep your palms facing each other. As we exhale, we're going to bend down. Remember, tighten your sphincter muscles and bend. You must pretend like you're sitting in an imaginary chair. Exhale. Remember, keep your knees together if you can. If you feel that's a little bit difficult, that's fine. Keep your knees apart just a little bit. Inhale, come up. Just tighten your sphincter muscles. Exhale and release. Let's come down on our hands and knees. We'll go into the cat posture. Again, if your knees, the closer your knees are, this is the hemorrhoid sequence, a pile sequence. So the closer your knees are, the easier it is to compact your sphincter muscles. Palms just below your shoulders at about shoulder width. Knees below your hips at about hip width. Curl your toes in. Now, even though your knees are separated, make sure you tighten your muscles. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to get my drink of water in a moment. Curl your toes in. Inhale, dip your torso, and inhale, bring your chest out. Exhale, arch your back. Thank you for picking up where I couldn't go on. Excuse me. Inhale, one more time. Exhale, arch your back, uncurl your toes. I'm going to relax just a little bit. I'm going to get myself, let's relax for a moment. Excuse me. I'm going to get myself a drink of water and we're going to keep going. Thank you. My wonderful friends over here have been very patient with me, so I cannot keep you waiting any longer. We're going to go into the camel posture. Let's come up on our knees. we're going to turn sideways. We're all going to turn in profile. And this time, yeah, you may not need the brick this time. We're going to touch your heels, right? So what we're going to do, I'm going to stagger myself. We're going to go into camel position. Keep your toes, feet flat. Now, if you want to curl your toes in, remember, folks at home, if you want to curl your toes in, you may be able to reach your heels faster and better, but there is a bit of pressure on your knees, so it's your choice. Be very careful if you have an injured knee, as Josiane has, but she's very brave. She's got it flat. Good. Good. But when your feet are flat, remember, you may not be able to reach them, so that's fine. You can just come up to the ankles, calves, back of the leg, wherever. That's fine. Keep your palms flat behind your buttocks. Now, open up your chest. Inhale, bring your chin up. Once you get past midpoint, if you want to go deeper, then tip your pelvis forward and exhale, and very gently glide your hands. First, the right hand glides down the back of your thighs. Hold on to your right heel, and then the left hand touches the left heel, and then tilt your pelvis forward. Tip it forward. Hold your posture, not your breath. Inhale. Keep your head tipped over. Place your right hand on your buttock, left hand on your buttock. Inhale, come up and release. Remember, when you're coming up from a deep, steep back bend like this, you want to make sure that your arms are at a point where it's very safe, and then bring your head back to position. Keep your head tilted back. As long as you are comfortable, as long as your hands make the connection, you're safe. You don't want to suspend your neck in midair. Let's go to Ardha Matsyendra. We did not do half Lord of the Fishes, right? So let's try that. Actually, we did that let's do the cow face. Tuck your left leg under your right thigh. Make sure the sole of your left foot faces the back of your room or wherever you are. We're going to face the soles of our feet to the back of the studio. Now use your hands. You don't need external props. We've got our arms and our legs. As long as we have that, use it. You don't want to just keep your hands not totally unused. You want to use your hands. Make the most of yourself. Take your right leg over your left leg. Try to align your left knee and your right knee. And if you feel it's not aligning today, do a little bit of cheating like I do. Press with your hands behind you and wiggle your right foot back. In this posture, it's a little different to Ardha Matsyendra in that you don't have your right foot flat. In Ardha Matsyendra or half Lord of the Fishes, the right foot is flat and the knee comes up. In this one, both the feet, the soles of both the feet will face the back of the room. Your left knee is up, right arm goes up. Now keep your right hand on your right knee for the moment. Inhale, raise your left arm overhead. As you exhale, take your right hand from behind you, behind the trapezius muscles. Place your palm flat. Let me show you. Josiane, you'd probably be a better example for this, but in the next, yeah, that's good. Sideways is good. Now place your palm between your trapezius muscles, and then let go of your right hand. Take your right hand from behind you and clasp your hands together. Tony, that's wonderful. The first time you came with us on our program, you asked for a belt, and this time, oh, beautiful, very nice. Tony's got his hands very, very close to each other. Clasp your hands together and then lift your chin up. Exhale. Let's release. Inhale. And take your right leg off your left knee, and this time we're going to tuck our right foot under the left butt. And this time, Tony, you may want to also turn sideways so they can see the progress you're making. Sit on the brick. You're doing fine. Right foot comes under the left butt. Left knee goes over the right knee. And just do a little bit of adjustment. What I tend to do is I press with my hands and I just adjust myself a little bit. It's okay. It's okay to adjust. It's okay to acknowledge that you're not quite there right from the start. Point is to make some progress. Left knee tries to stay over the right knee. Let's take our hands up. Place the left hand on the left knee. Torque your body a little bit to the left. It might make it a little easier to twine your hands and clasp your hands from behind. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, take the right hand behind your back, the neck. No, from up, Tony. Take it up. Yeah, bend. Bend your right hand at the elbow. That's good. Now, take your left hand from behind, clasp your hands together. Once your fingers have found each other, that's fine. Hold on to your t-shirt, but that's very good progress, Tony. The last time we were using a belt. You're doing great. Now, notice what Tony is doing. He is slowly wiggling his hands closer and closer to each other. That's wonderful. And even though his fingers are they're about a couple of inches apart, you're almost there. Just stay there. Be comfortable. Even though his fingers are not quite touching today, it's wonderful progress. The last time Tony demonstrated how to use a belt, and he was wiggling his hands. I'm sure you've been practicing at home, Tony, but
Yes.
This is great. This is really nice. And notice how he's holding on to his t-shirt. So you want to make that connection. You want to hold on to something. Now, just one more point. Are you comfortable holding this for a few seconds?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
The reason this might be called cow face, I have no idea, but I've been given different interpretations. The elbow that goes up looks like the ears of a cow. I had one instructor tell me that the knees aligned over each other looks like the face of a cow, the mouth of a cow. One way or another, you need to visualize something. So let's pretend that's what it is. Very gently. Inhale and release your arms. And then untangle your legs. And we won't do Paschimottanam. We'll go straight into boat. Extend your legs out in front of you. For this one, Tony, you may want to come off of the break because you're going to go into a full boat position. I hope folks at home remember to tighten your anal sphincters when we did that, because sometimes I don't call out that particular instruction for that ailment, but it's part of the sequence. So make sure you keep yourself nice and compact always. When you tighten your core muscles, remember, don't hold your breath. You need to isolate your muscles. You need to learn how to isolate your muscles and just compact specific set of muscles. Okay, we're going to go into full boat. We're staggered enough. Okay, feet are flexed. What we're going to do here is, remember, when we go into a full boat position from a seated posture, what we need to do is engage our lower abdominal muscles. When we come up from a supine position into this posture, we engage our upper abs. And you will notice a difference, but today we're going to go from a seated position. Thank you, Tony. He's all set. He's raring to go. Wonderful. Do you feel that wonderful sciatic stretch too,
Yes.
right, when your legs are extended? Now, let's inhale, keep your back straight, take our arms up in front of us. This time, it's also a bit of a balanced posture. So remember, tighten your sphincter muscles, consciously send your energy. Where the mind goes, energy flows. So we're going to inhale, raise our legs, try to resist the temptation to use your quadriceps. Inhale, engage your lower abdominal muscles, and lift. Hold your posture, not your breath. Exhale and release. Very nice. You will still feel a bit of tension in the quads because it's very hard not to use the quad muscles. If we have strong quadriceps, it's very tempting to use it, but the idea is also to engage your lower abdominal muscles. Let's try that one more time, this time consciously focusing on tightening our anal sphincters and engaging the lower abdominal muscles, and see if we can raise a little bit. If we fall out of this posture, that's perfectly all right. Come right back in. Sometimes I fall back because I'm trying too hard. That's okay. We need to learn to forgive ourselves. We need to learn to laugh at our own mistakes, and that happens. Let's inhale. Bring our legs up this time. Engage your lower abdominal muscles. Inhale and lift. Now I notice if I'm engaging my lower abdominal muscles, I'm able to go up a little higher. Exhale and release. Very nice. The first time we tried this, I think I might have cheated subconsciously because my quads were getting engaged because I could feel the pain and I wasn't going as high. So the idea is we learn as we go. We must be aware of the mistakes we make and we try to correct ourselves. Okay, let's do Ashtanga Namaskara. Again, tighten your anal sphincter muscles when we do this, which essentially it means tighten your core muscles, all your major muscles in the midriff area, lower abdominal muscles, buttock, sphincters. Okay, we're going to first go into prone position and peel our butt off the floor as I explain why it's called Ashtanga. Ashta is 8, Anga is limbs. So the 8 limbs are chin to the ground, hands on the floor, chin, chest, hands, knees, and feet. That's 8. So this time what we're going to do, keep our chin down. Remember, Cobra is the only prone position that you start with the forehead on the ground. All other prone positions, at least in our sequence, chin first to the ground. We're going to keep our palms where they are, curl your toes in, and we're going to peel our hips off the floor. When you peel your hip off the floor, it will entail gliding your knees closer to your chest. Inhale. Now, keep your anal sphincters nice and tight and slowly bring your toes closer. If you can get your hips off the ground, you're fine. Keep your sphincters nice and tight and hold. Exhale and release. As we release, we're going to lift our torso out. Glide out from this position into cobra. Keep your elbows bent just a little bit. Now this is also good for asthma because you're opening up your chest. Exhale and release. Keep your sphincters nice and tight. Your legs are extended. Toes are flat. Exhale. Release. The next one, and the cobra posture is also called bhujanga in Sanskrit. The next posture is called Salab Asana. Salab is locust. What we're going to do is make a little fist with your palms. Tuck your thumb into your palm, into the center of your palm. Wrap your fingers. Oh, he knows. Tony remembers that. Good. Wrap your fingers over your palms. Place your palms in the pelvic area so you don't hurt yourself. Chin to the ground. First, let's take a deep breath in and out. And this time, as we exhale, we're going to tighten our gluteal muscles, tighten our anal sphincters, exhale and peel the knees off the floor. Chin stays on the ground. I'm sorry. Were you able to lift? Oh, okay. Bring your feet down, Josiane. As we lift our knees off the ground, you really should be inhaling and you'll notice your legs will go up much higher. So let's inhale and peel our knees off the floor. Much better. When I tried to exhale and lift my knees, I couldn't even get my knees off. Exhale and release. Remember, folks at home, you can release your hands. Folks at home, if you need to use a little help, push with the back of your hands to get that leverage. That's fine. It's perfectly all right. You're trying to engage all the right muscles. Okay, bring our arms out in front of us. This is half boat, Navasana. The first one is Paripurna Nav. This is just Nav. Nav is a boat that's like a half boat or a canoe. Okay, palms in front of us, chin down. We're going to inhale, bring our arms and our knees off the floor. Inhale and lift. There is a temptation in this posture to use our thigh muscles. I do that too sometimes, but I learned to forgive myself. Exhale and release. What we really need to use is the lower back muscles. So just so we can redeem ourselves, let's try that one more time. This time, engage your lower back muscles, tighten your gluteals, tighten your sphincters. Inhale and lift. Hold your posture, not your breath. Exhale, release. Take your right hand back, hold your right ankle. Take your left hand from behind, hold your left ankle, chin to the ground. We're going to go up in Dhanur Asana. Dhanur is bow, archer's bow. Remember, the closer your knees are, the more intense the stretch. Keep your anal sphincters nice and tight. Inhale and lift, peel your chest and your knees up at the same time. Inhale. Yes, Josiane, good. Smart. Josiane has hurt her knee and she's not going to do any back bend with her knee. And that's very good, Josiane. Thank you for reminding me by not doing.
I love that asana.
Feels good, right? Let's release. I need to point something out. Relax a little bit, Tony. Oh, smart. Nice. Tony's making the connection with his socks. Yeah. Thank God for socks. Now, folks at home, jokes apart, be very careful when you're using socks. Prone and supine positions and seated, it's okay. We're not doing too many standing postures, so that's all right today. That's good. You made the connection. You held on to something. Josiane's body decided not to go up in both because she's hurt her right knee. Why don't you explain to them why you didn't go into that? It was very smart.
I pulled a ligament very badly. And last time when I did exercise, it really helped me. The swelling went down tremendously. I mean, it was wonderful. I felt the pain was gone for a while.
Right.
It came back.
After a while again.
Yeah, it came back.
But you don't want that to recur. So Josiane decided that she needs to give that knee a little bit of rest. In the bow position, the archer's bow, it is a bit of a stretch in the quads, and it will impact your knees as well. So I'm glad you gave it a rest.
My injury, I had no problem to do that. I was even be able to touch my feet, my hands together.
Nice.
Really very high. I love that asana.
Right. Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. So let's do another one. Let's get into, this is more of a rest posture. It's actually quite enjoyable. Let's get down on a, you're okay with your knees?
Yes.
This is a fairly straightforward one. It's called Mandukasana. Posture number 40 on your postcard if you already have it. If you don't, write to us. We'll send you one. Now, curl your toes in. Place your elbows on the floor. And just clasp your hands together. Keep your head level with your chest. Your chin and chest are almost level. And your butt, your butt is okay. It doesn't have to be raised very high. You can just sort of keep it level. This is Mandukasana. Manduk is frog. Pretend you're a frog. This is more of a rest posture, but make sure that you're doing something active. So tighten your anal sphincters. Now very gently place your palms just below your shoulders. And what we're going to do is go into Danda or plank. You both okay for plank, right?
Yes.
That's the punishment position. I like to call it the punishment, the push-up position. So we're going to curl our toes in very gently. Take our knees off the floor. Elbows are bent just a little bit. Keep your elbows close to your body. And your head is level with your body. Make sure you don't dip your pelvis too much, as I get tempted sometimes. Nice, Tony, that's good. And it shouldn't go too high either. Very nice. Hold. Tighten your sphincters. Remember, make a conscious effort. This is a pile sequence. Gently place your knees on the floor. We're going to turn over in supine position. We don't have the plow in this, but maybe we can do that. Let's go to Viparita Karani. Viparita Karani is unique inversion. It's actually legs up the wall. That's what we call it here in the studio. So let's call it that, legs up the wall. I'm going to take my fancy clip off so it doesn't get in the way. Let's lie down in supine position. This is a wonderful time to relax. But don't forget, make it a conscious relaxation. Tighten your anal sphincters. Oh, before I forget, little bit of a trick over here. Place your palms flat under your buttocks. It literally gives us the leverage to take our legs higher with greater ease and much more effective. Inhale. Lift your legs off the floor in a T with the floor. So keep your feet flexed. Tighten your sphincters. We're not going to go overhead into the plow position, but there is another one that I want, excuse me. Stay there, stay where you are if you're comfortable. I want to actually introduce our audience to one more. This is the fish posture that Josiane was talking about. Actually, no, let's do that. We're halfway there. So let's push with our hands.